You don't determine your brand. Other people do. You can do your best to craft your message and to present yourself in the best light, but it's the reaction that others are going to get to you and their experience with your company that's going to go into determining your brand. So if we think about major brands and experiences that we've had with them, it's all surrounding experience. There's other marketing tools that we use to convey the message. Somebody, they hire me, I'm a branding company, Brandtastic, so they call me, well, can you create a brand for me? Not really, I can help you though, I can help you in the right direction, guide what the brand's going to become. It's like owning real estate in your brain. And so many brands own that real estate, it's very crowded in there. So people, you're competing against a lot of messages. That's the goal. You be top of mind so that if I'm in front of you talking about branding, 2 months from now you may meet somebody and say, hey, I know a branding guy, but if I wasn't here you wouldn't have met me. So it's all these type of things where you're going to have to keep touching people in different ways. Social media is one, we'll talk about that later. Now brand mark is what a lot of people associate with a brand. I like to call it logo design. If the client's big enough, I'll call it brand because then I can charge them more. But basically, you're trying to personify that business in a visual anchor that every experience is tied to. All right, we're going to have a little fun now. What brand is that? All right. Very good. See, now all it took was seeing that. Who said that? You, Steve? No, you cheat. Cheating. He's a marketing guy. I eat at McDonald's every day. All right. All right, see? Takes very little. Now, actually, they just rebranded. They've gone through transitions. I did a little piece on that once where it started in Seattle with the old Mermaid and how they've modernized it. Now, if you look at their cups, it doesn't even say Starbucks on it. Do they need to? No. So that's the end game. If you can get to that point where you don't need to put your name. Oh, this is a hard one. Nobody's going to get this. I can't get you guys. Now, I would love to be the designer that got paid to come up with that. Probably got $1 million. I would have done it for $500,000. And the second most important thing is the call to action. It's got to be there. If people just go to the website and it's all bland, they don't know what to do next. They don't know what to do next. So here's the circle that I sort of try to put in people's mind. In the upper left, you got your core website, which has a video. On the right, you have a blog where you write interesting, relevant content that's connected to everything else. On the bottom, you have your social, the big two, Facebook and Twitter. Now here's the transition they made from, this is all pool in Orlando, by the way, from the year 2000 to 2008. Pretty impressive, huh? There's a lot of websites out there like that. So we did help them out. Now here on this one here, you can see, it's very attractive. We have a picture of their truck, their guy. We have our social elements very clear. We have a clear phone number. The box is a clear call to action, which really works tremendously because people love to save money. So they click on that and boom, they have a couple fields they enter and they get a coupon. So okay, I want to get my pool remodeled, and this is the old site. I look here, not too impressed. It has a picture of a dirty pool. That doesn't really turn me on. So I go back to Google. That's called a bounce rate. If somebody just comes to your page, they bounce right out before going any deeper, then that shows up as a bounce, and you have no idea how long they spent on that page because Google has no timestamp to really be able to tell. But I'll get into that in the next session. Now that's the new page. We're clearly showing some nice jobs that they've done. There's some textures that you can look at, the different colors that are available, and there's a form so you can fill out for a free estimate. So, it converts. It's called converting. When somebody comes to a website, it converts if they do something, if they fill out a form or if they call you, which is what we want them to do. Today, if somebody types in plumber, Google automatically realizes that this is coming in from Orlando, and it will direct you to local results. You know, a couple of years ago, you had to optimize for Orlando plumber, and you still do, but they don't have to type that in. Although a lot of people do put a geographical qualifier, it's called, and people are very sophisticated about how they search today. Now, of course, everybody knows that, you know, Yahoo's the top search engine. Excite is number 2. Oh, wait a minute. That's 1999. There we go. Okay, things change, right? This is today. So anytime I talk about search engines, I'm always talking primarily about Google. Because if you please Google, you're usually going to please Yahoo and Bing. Yahoo now uses Bing's search engine to guide their results. So when we track results, they're usually exactly the same. They both have local features, so you have Yahoo Local with a map and Bing Local. Those are different. Everybody wants to be on the top of Google, right? There's not much room at the top. So I'm going to give you some information about SEO. Back a couple of years ago when I would talk about this with people, their eyes would start to glaze over and they'd sort of find somebody else to talk to, you know? So it's not all glamorous and exciting, but it's real stuff. It really works, and you really got to not hire this guy. I mean, we've all met somebody that's an SEO expert, right? Or we've gotten a solicitation from someone. There's so many experts out there that are lying. It's really sad because it gives people that do practice this a bad name. The most important factors, there's 2 or 3. I have 2 here, content and links. The third one is going to be soon social imprint because of what Google, Matt Cutts has said, and because of the evidence of we see what's happening. Your whole imprint across the whole web is going to influence where you stand. People don't like to hear that they have to have links. It's great when they occur naturally because you're putting out content that people really want to read. And they say, wow, that's cool, I'm going to post that on Facebook. That's a link. Or I'm going to share that with my audience on my blog by putting a link to it. Every web page has what's called PageRank. And this little bar up here, a lot of you probably don't have that, but you can get a Google toolbar that will show the PageRank of the page. So it indicates their influence on the web. So if a page 5 had 1 link out to me, that would be tremendous. It would give me such a bounce in influence according to Google. If they had 50 links out and I was one of them, it would dilute that considerably. So that's why when somebody wants to sell you links or that type of thing, you have a lot of overseas companies offering to sell links. They're usually very not worth much. Because they'll have 1 page, it may have a PR5, but it has 80 links out. It's better to have like a PR1 site that links to you. This is what's great about analytics. If you look at this, you can tell so much information. How many people have analytics on their site? That's not too bad. But for those that don't, it's really worth the trouble. If you have to find a friend that will put the code on your site, then do it. If you have to download some sort of an HTML editor to do it that way. If you run out of options, I will do it for you for free, all right? But don't tell anybody I said that. The bounce rate, 65%, that's high. That means 65% came there and did not go any further. So they just went to the first page. Because Google can only tell when they went to the second page by the date the first one is entered and then the second one. They can't tell when they go out into another site. Search is local in nature. Figures range from 20 to 40%. When you use your phone to search, which more and more people are going to be doing, it's going to pretty much automatically give you a local result. So are you prepared to capture that market? By that I mean, do you have a local places page that's optimized? How many people do? Oh, now here's where we really got to get busy.